ICPS being graduated to the club of PCI DSS certification. ICPS is a newly born subsidiary of MCB, which is only 2 years old, which is positioned itself for card processing services within the region. I will now pass over to Roshan, the General Manager, to tell us more about ICPS and the process that we went through to get this license. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and members of the press, it is an honor for me as the General Manager of International Card Services Processing Services Limited, a subsidiary of the Mauritius Commercial Bank Group, the leading company in Mauritius. And for us, it is a prestigious certificate that we have won with regards to data security in the world of card transaction processing. ICPS is a subsidiary created in 2008 by the Mauritius Commercial Bank Group, together with its partner based in Morocco, High Tech Payment System, which is also a leading company in the space of card management system, according to the last report of Gartner. In today's world of global business, where more and more financial institutions are looking for new mode of payment, whereby card as a plastic or the card number is playing a key role for promoting payments, be it in the physical space, where you as a cardholder, you are producing your card in an ATMs or point of sales terminals to do your purchase, and now the functionality of e-commerce, online payments, mobile banking, data security is a matter of concern. You must be fully aware of several threats or hacking of systems worldwide, particularly the one in the United States, Hitler, and others that I will be going to show you. So this certificate is a public statement of ICPS to the consumers, to its customers, to the cardholders, to the merchant, about the high level of data security behind our way of conducting that business. It is given by the PCI Council, which is based in the United States, so PCI Payment Card Industry Data Security Standards, and through a qualified security assessor that an audit is being done, covering 270 controls that an organization like us needs to adhere to. Apart from being a lengthy process, there is substantial amount of investment that had to be done from an IT infrastructure, from the system processors, from all the security controls that we had to put around. You are also aware that Mauritius recently promoted the Data Protection Act, so whereby any information pertaining to an individual, be it its name, its card number, expiry date, its address, are to be secured in the way that we're going to do the business. So this applies also to other entities, financial, non-financials, that are operating in the space of handling data, storing, transmitting, and processing of data. So, International Card Processing Services Limited, introduced in 2008. I think for the members of the press and our guests, it's very important for you to know what we are doing in Mauritius, in the Indian Ocean, as well as in the African continent. So for that, I've prepared a presentation, and I'm very pleased to share that with you. Financial institutions that are willing to introduce cards faces several challenges. Investment in IT platform, the security aspect from an IT perspective, the compliance aspect that comes from the regulators. If you take, for example, the Payment Card Industry Council for Data Security Standards, this is a council that has been set up by Visa International, MasterCard International, Japanese Card Bureau, Diners, and Discover to promote the benchmark with regards to information security to all institutions that are handling card data. You need also expertise, bearing in mind that the card business is in a highly dynamic environment. So banks' history introduced a normal ATM card, is now thinking of a branded debit card, credit card, is now thinking of prepaid card. You have also the chip cards, and as well as electronic cards. So when you take all these delivery channels for mode of payments, there's no doubt that we need to give a guarantee or commitment of security. In this world of global business, again, as I was telling you, with cards as a medium for payment, you have witnessed, or we have heard through internet or the international papers, how systems are being hacked, how systems are being penetrated to get access to sensitive data with regards to cards, and whereby you are using it to either produce counterfeit cards, and then where fraud is a tremendous concern for banks or institutions in the card business. So banks willing to introduce it has two challenges, major challenges, and sometimes the capital expenditure, CAPEX, is so huge that they want to see whether a service provider, call it an outsourcer, is willing to provide them with such a services. So this has several benefits. So first of all, as a financial institution, this reduce or minimize by more than 30 to 40% the CAPEX investment, reduce the cost of operations, and thereby enable a bank to focus on its core business, promoting the products, marketing, operations, and leave the technology side to the expert. At the end of the day, this enables a bank to achieve an economies of scales. So, having this business venture in mind, and with a key segment to target in Mauritius, Indian Ocean, as well as in Africa, in 2008, the leading group in Mauritius, Mauritius Commercial Bank Group, decided to form a partnership with High-Tech Payment System and to set up International Card Processing Services Limited. We are situated in Mauritius by precisely. Incorporated in 2008, we are certified 27001 ISO, and now recently the payment card industry data security standards version 2.0, which is the latest one and the tough one, which the Payment PCI Council introduced in October 2010. So, in Mauritius, we are offering services like personalizing cards. Could be a loyalty card, fidelity card, staff card to hotels. Could be to insurance companies, or to any organizations that would like to enhance their authentication controls with regards to card with photos, as well as branded cards. We have a card management system that is an IT platform, enable us to host on behalf of our customers the cards, and they can get remote access to that. And also all the transactions that needs to be channeled through an ATMs or a point of sales terminals, or also channeled to the Visa, MasterCard, China Union Pay, American Express, or Dinners or Discover network, we have that possibility from an IT infrastructure to provide that. Any bank willing to introduce point of sales terminals, financial institution or ATMs, were able to drive these ATMs and point of sales. For your information, from Mauritius, for a leading bank in the African continent, from Mauritius, we are driving 105 ATMs, and in Mauritius, on their behalf, we are hosting more than 500,000 card holders' account and giving them access to that system without any issue. And with our 15 to 20 years experience, as you know, the Mauritius Commercial Bank Group has been the first as a bank also to introduce card. So several years of experience are there, and this is our significant contribution now to banks in the region. So from a training, auditing, and consultancy. So our vision is to be a leading card processing service provider, whereby information security, PCI, is our benchmark for handling card business on behalf of financial institutions. We are leveraging on the expertise of our own technical and business staff and the investment that we have done on a IT platform, which is a state-of-the-art technology called PowerCard. So far, we have reached more than 125 million in terms of investment with regards to that IT infrastructure. Just imagine Mauritius in the African continent, a tiny dot, and from Mauritius, we are promoting now services across the region. The pre-requirements were there. We needed to have expertise, the knowledge in that specialized area, which is card business and card technology, past experience, tight project management skills, a robust IT infrastructure, a key focus on data security, to prevent system hacking, to prevent unauthorized access to the system and get access to card numbers, which is a sensitive data, communication network viability. And yes, Mauritius is still considered to be a safe location unless a tsunami hits us. Political stability, yes, since yesterday we are challenging it, but these are the key drivers for us to promote outsourcing services to Mauritian companies, to banks, financial institutions in the Indian Ocean, as well as in Africa. So what are we offering? So an IT platform for a bank to introduce a multi-currency card product ranging from prepaid, debit and credit card. A chip card, as you know, more and more now financial institutions are encouraged to introduce a chip cards because of fraud, because of the liability shift. We can drive ATM POS, and all this IT platform is connected to all the branded networks. Visa, MasterCard, China UnionPay, Japanese Card Bureau, American Express, and Discover. To operate a card business, financial institution needs additional functionalities like loyalty programs. To monitor those customers that are late in their payments, they need modules like collections. And in the world of card business, one thing which is very crucial is to get a monitoring, close monitoring on the fraud, be it on the issuing side for banks that issue only cards, as well as those that are acquiring transactions on the terminals and ATMs. So ICPS as a service provider, providing IT platform, expertise, and also we assist bank in the way that they need to conduct that business from best practices perspective, with all the experience that we have gathered. 2008 we started that business, and now we are in 2011. So just imagine ICPS in Mauritius, where now we are known for the last 3 years. Mozambique, Madagascar, Seychelles, Maldives, with our subsidiaries of MCB, as well as with some other banks that currently we are dealing with. And then there is Tanzania, where we're driving where we have already been live with an African bank in Tanzania. Zimbabwe, Namibia, DRC Congo, Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya. So these are the key countries. And that's tremendous achievement from ICPS. ISO 27001, PCI certified version 2.0, and from Mauritius, this is where now gradually we have reached for the last 3 years. And I told you, one of the leading banks in Africa. From here, we're driving 112 ATMs, hosting more than 500,000 cards on that system, and remotely they are getting access to operate their day-to-day card business operations. So in a nutshell, from Mauritius, we're promoting the personalization of cards, ATM POS switching, driving, card issuing platform, any bank that is willing to issue a card product, any bank that is willing to deploy ATMs or POS, they can have that services from us, and also guidance consultancy in the space of IT and information security, data security. This is the top of the town now for any companies that want to give the guarantee that they can conduct the business on behalf of any institution securely. Data security, as I told you, is now our key concern. Yes, we are in the field of doing business to generate revenues, but we are focused also on the way that we need to do it, whereby data security is a matter of concern. Recent data breach in the world will show you some statistics that confirms what I'm sharing with you, that this is a subject that needs to bring to the audience that are involved in the handling of card transaction or personal data of individuals. So the level of PCI data security standard is a prerequisite for conducting such a business in order to minimize fraud, hacking of system. And us at ICPS, we are proud to be among the rare few companies that have been able to achieve such a standard in a short lapse of time. Some of the recent data breaches I'm sure you are aware of, like for example, fraudulent signature debit transaction that hit nearly 24 institutions, the Toyo accounts. CT breach exposes card data, 360,000 customers impacted. Even the security tokens that are given has been now proved not to be reliable with security breaches. And the one which is more still the talk of the town, the last one, Heartland payment system. In the United States, whereby they had to pay a penalty to some of the card payment association for data compromise. And here you see there is a $5 million penalty fee, and it starts with $500,000 US dollars for non-compliance or data breach. So I was initially mentioning to you that PCI data security standards are 270 rigorous control requirements that ICPS had to adhere to get that certificate of version 2.0. The key areas of focus during that audit that was conducted by Control Case, a leading quality security assessor in the world, and I'm pleased to inform you that one of their representatives is present, apart from our international guests from South Africa and China, which I'm going to introduce later. So these were the key areas during that audit. 270 controls that we need to adhere. IT system, the database security and operating system, all the system processes behind that transaction business that we are in, the network, what kind of equipment you are using, what are the configuration, the business processes, the scanning of a system to ensure that no hacking is possible, and also all the environment whereby you need to protect the data by encrypting it or truncating the card numbers and other sensitive data for a card holder. So PCI principle is any system that transmits, process, or store data must be compliant to that. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and members of the press, it is an honor for me as General Manager of ICPS to share to you that now ICPS, a local Mauritian company, subsidiary of the leading group, has joined the elite group of worldwide card service providers that meet the highest security of data security standards. We align ourselves with Data Protection Act in Mauritius, or else we have gone step well further with what the Data Protection Act in Mauritius requires an institution to do. And for us, it's a commitment that we are going to do business securely for our customers. For our customers, it is a level of comfort that the data is well protected with international card processing services limited. Thank you very much. Before I leave the floor to the media for some questions, I would like just to introduce our international guest of honor. You have Mr. Stephen Pinting from Ivory, which is a PCI compliant company from South Africa involved in mobile banking, e-commerce. You have Mr. Jack Chen, executive from China UnionPay, a leading acquiring and issuing brand. As you know, Mauritius Commercial Bank is accepting now China UnionPay cards on its ATM posts. So he has gladly wished to come with us to join us for that celebration of that certificate. And also Mr. Afzal Merchant from Control Case, Director of Control Case, a qualified security assessor that is involved in the auditing of financial companies for them to ensure that they comply to the PCI certificate version 2.0. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jean-Philippe. Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I'd like to congratulate ICPS on this achievement. It's not an easy road to achieve PCI DSS, Ivory was one of the first companies in the African continent to actually achieve PCI. It's a tough road. But the reality is we deal with people's money. Although it's a piece of plastic that you present at a business to pay for something, behind that sits an account and sits somebody's money. So having this type of security standard, there's only a handful of companies that have achieved it so far in Africa. And for us, it shows the dedication that companies like ourselves have to ensuring that we protect people's money. So once again, I congratulate ICPS on this achievement.
From China UnionPay.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. China UnionPay has started as a car business or payment business in Africa as well as Mauritius a few years ago, and I think we're very privileged to have partners like ICPS as well as MCB as our partners in Mauritius as well as South Africa. Today we are very, very privileged to be invited to attend this event, celebrate the success of ICPS. I think technically, Clinton has summarized it very well, and just from the business point of view, China UnionPay would like to work closely with our strategic partner, with ICPS and MCB, to conquer the Mauritian as well as the African market. So once again, thank you very much for inviting us, and we are extremely proud of your achievement. Congratulations once again.
And I will throw to Mr. Zabna from Confernce.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I just wanted to first kind of get through and talk to you guys about what the whole PCI compliance is and how are the steps or the roadmap of challenges which the ICPS has taken over to kind of get over and get the PCI certification. So when we are talking about the PCI DSS 2.0 certification, it essentially is a regulation which is the only regulation which is kind of overall across the globe. It is a regulation which has been directly related to, as my colleague over here mentioned, it is directly related to a person's money. This is one particular area or regulation where, of course, data breaches happen for personal information, for account information, but data breach for card information is directly related to a person's money, a person's wallet. So this regulation, which is spread across the globe, which is PCI DSS, and it was formed by Visa, MasterCard, Discover, JCB, and Diners Association. They all came together and formed this particular regulation. The regulation was started in 2008, but slowly and steadily it has picked up over, and right now it is at version 2.0, which is the minimum which has to be compliant by every single financial institution or service provider such as ICPS or merchants by January of 2012. But here I'm very happy to be associated, and thanks to ICPS to kind of select us as the journey partners to take ICPS to the roadmap of compliance for PCI DSS 2.0. It is actually even our achievement, because this is the first organization or service provider who has achieved the PCI DSS 2.0 compliance. And we have worked with many organizations, but this is the first one where they have achieved the 2.0 compliance. Now, let me take a step back and talk a little bit about the actual start of how the journey started along with Control Case and ICPS. I believe we started about in October of 2010, and today we are already certified ICPS with PCI DSS 2.0. This is a real great achievement. Step around and take a look at all the other service providers or financial institutions. This regulation to get the first time certification has been a long roadmap that, as again mentioned by Roshan, it has 270 controls, it has 12 requirements, it has in-depth of how a data or card data has to be secured, from a PCI DSS regulation perspective, and it takes a lot of investment, a real genuine stakeholder focus and aspects to make sure that you get through the whole roadmap of compliance. Challenges are numerous in terms of investments, in terms of resources, to make sure businesses get the right value add from actually getting PCI DSS compliance, mainly customer satisfaction and brand protection. So getting through all of these things and achieving the compliance is a really achievement in terms of being one of the first few service providers in the African continent to get the PCI DSS. So I congratulate Roshan and the whole team once again for doing that. I think at this point I would want to present a little bit of memento for Roshan and the team for the PCI DSS compliance as well as the certificate of compliance. Let me also give them the certificate of compliance. So congratulations again, Roshan, on your big good achievement. Congratulations everybody in the team for getting this achievement. And I'm glad I've been a journey partner with ICPS Group, and we hope to continue this relationship for the years to come, because this whole PCI DSS program is not it's not a end point once you get this compliance, but you have to attain and maintain and retain this compliance on a regulation on an annual basis. So we'll be together with you for a long time to come. Thanks guys, and congratulations once again.